Hello and welcome to another episode of Real Impact with me, Nick APD, and special guest, Lady Stephanie. Extreme close-up. Whoa!
Oh, excellent. All right.
Yeah, enough of that nonsense. How are you, Steph?
Yeah, I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for joining me for this episode. Your choice. Yes, excellent choice. Very, very apt. Yeah, what a film. Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
Yeah, I love this film.
Excellent. So, you've seen the show. You have already been on an episode. You were on at Christmas for the Home Alone episode. So
I was indeed.
You know that this isn't torture. It's no difficult questions here. It's just a chat amongst friends about a film.
It's all good.
I'm looking forward to it. But as tradition dictates, what we have to do is we do have to go into the chat and we do have to say hello to those in attendance this evening.
Alrighty.
So I will read the names. You can hype them up if you want. No one ever really hypes it. I ask everyone to be my hype person, and Martin sort of did a half attempt, and people sort of do a half attempt. Everyone does a half attempt. But
what do you want to do? It's Karen. Like, what
sorry,
do you want
Martin.
to do?
I feel bad using you as an example there, Martin, but it just came to mind because you have rafts on here. But yeah, no.
He won't be watching. He hates Wayne's World.
Does he hate Wayne's World?
He hates it with a passion, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know how.
Anyway,
he's just popped up in the chat. I've just seen him.
He is. Well, there you go. But we can greet people in. But first and foremost, this evening, we were joined by one of our super spanners, Only Vader's girl, our Cat. And she's excited to see this. So good evening, Cat. Good to see you.
Hey, Cat.
We've also been joined by Georgie Norris. She says, excellent. Kieran Ball saying hello to us.
Hey,
Jojo, hey everyone, party time. I know that Jojo is getting drunk on wine as we speak. So she's well up for it. Oh, we've also been joined by G-Force Racers. Oh, one of my favourite ladies, and Kieran. Oh, right. I thought it was just one of my favourite films. And I must learn to read. We've also been joined by Keith Knight saying, evening everyone, party time, excellent. Sorry, I'm going through these quicker because there's quite a few in and we got a lot to discuss. We've been joined by Lady Steph, whoever she is. Is that you, is it?
That's me.
You just look, I don't know, you just look a bit different this evening. I can't really work it out.
I did
change your hair or something.
Yeah, I just used a different appliance on my hair, yeah.
A different appliance? What, like the tumble dryer over your head?
No. I used like curling tongs. Can you tell? Like the fluffiness?
Oh, yeah. Looks great.
Yeah.
Looks great. It looks like you got a bottle of Sun-In, sprayed it and held the hairdryer over your head.
That was lemon juice. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Right, back into it, Lady Steph. We've also been joined by Pete's... You don't have to be sorry. Pete's Toys and Things. Pete, your best pirate impression, please. Who else have we been joined by? We've been joined by Jonathan Redmond as well. He says, good evening, Nick, Steph and chat.
Hey.
Ha. We've also been joined by the very awesome Des T. He says, hi, everyone.
Hey, Des.
Who else have we been joined by? We have already said hello to Kieran Ball, haven't we?
If we haven't. Again.
Yeah, hey. Hi, Kieran Ball. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm sure we have. We've also been joined by another one of the T's, our Zoe T. She says, hello. Good to see you, Zoe.
Hey,
Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you so much. Somehow he has returned. We've been joined by Pod Racing Palpatine. He says, hello, everyone. Exciting news. Palps has agreed to do an episode. So with you, I believe, Steph.
Yes, it's going to be fun. It's be good.
That will be. A relation of yours, another Long. It's Adam Long. Oh, hell yeah.
Hey.
Good to see you, Adam. Good to see you. We've also been joined by Ricardo. Hello, Nick, Lady Steph. Hello, everyone in the chat. Good to see you, Ricardo.
Hey.
This is excellent. And someone you know very well, a long time ago, Martin. He says, hi, Kieran, Adam, G4. He said hello to everyone. Absolutely everyone.
Hey.
And he says, we are no longer friends. That's because I threw him under the bus for saying he wasn't the best hype man. I feel kind of bad now. You're a great hype man. It was just a bad example. We've been joined by our Sai, Manga Fandanga.
Hey,
Let me just check something here. There we go. Our Sai Manga Fandanga, and we've also been joined by... No, that's everyone for now, but that's excellent. Party time, excellent. I will say hello to anyone else as they come in, and if I've missed anyone, just really make me aware, and I will absolutely, I'll absolutely give you a shout out, because that's the name of the game. These shows are fun because you lot come and you join us for these shows. Let's like make it not look like I'm in the gasworks, and let's actually get some light on. Oh,
yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. I need to light myself a bit. There we go. Look at that. Oh, you can see the contours of my face.
You look at, have you done something different?
Yeah.
You dyed your hair?
Don't be so cheeky. Just because I'm going grey, that's a bit out of order. Bit out of order, mate.
Men on there. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. Don't know what you mean. Don't know what you mean. Oh, we've had someone else come in. Andy, HHHDX.
Hey,
hello,
hey,
dude.
Andy.
He says he likes the outfits. I don't know what he's on about, but
Don't know what you're on about, mate.
I'm glad that...
Always wear those.
Yeah, it's just normal attire.
Saturday night. Yeah.
Anyway. And anyone who hasn't, Andy is he's an audio tech guy, does audio and gadget reviews. Check out his channel. He helped me out massively with my setup. I cannot thank him enough. He has been a godsend to helping me not look like I'm filming on a potato. So thank you,
so
Andy.
we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
We are not worthy. Yes, indeed. So, right, here we are. Real Impact, Wayne's World, 1992. Yeah?
Yes.
This is the film you picked. I think you've been on about this one for a little while now, haven't you, Steph?
Yes, yeah, it's taken us a while to get to this point. I think maybe September we started talking about it.
Yeah, life sort of happens and Christmas gets in the way. So I'll do the usual. I'll go through I will go through the sort of production details and that. But as with every episode, this is the question everyone gets asked. And sorry, it looks like I'm reading from a script, but I'm reading from a script. It will be mine. So, when did you first see Wayne's World? And are there any personal memories of it, or are there any impressions of the film that you would like to share with myself or the audience?
So, I saw it as a teenager, maybe around 14 years old. I have an older brother, so I got a lot of sort of influence from things him and his friends were watching, and he was watching Wayne's World, and they were just laughing hilariously at it. So I obviously started watching it too, and I've just watched it ever since. I think it grabbed me because it allowed me to live out that sort of rebellious life that I knew I couldn't have living in the Fens. You know, that romanticized idea of having like the city as your playground and just having fun with your mates. As soon as, you finished your work, you can just hang out with your mates, having a laugh, just doing whatever. I think that just really appealed and just, it was something that I wanted to do, I think, and I could do it through them. It's great. I get lost in their world when I watch this.
Well, yeah. Awesome recount of why you came to it. And it's always good to hear why these things are personal to people. I did see it much younger than yourself. I was like really young, like when this first came out at Blockbuster or Ritz Video, whichever one it was at the time.
Yeah.
But while you were saying about you could sort of hang out with your friends and you could do these things, when I was watching the film last night, and I'm watching them do the sort of public access thing. We don't have that in the UK. That's not a thing we do. And so that sort of blew my mind as a kid. But I thought to myself, we kind of all do it now though, don't we? Those of us with channels,
That's so true, yeah.
I was watching it last night thinking, we do hang out with our friends. We meet up and we sort of do have our own, maybe not Wayne's World, but we do have our own stuff,
Yeah, our own little community together. Yeah, that is so true, actually. We do kind of do that now. I suppose maybe now we've got the time and the money to do it, maybe. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, sort of got time, sort of got money.
And, the technology, I suppose, I should say. Yeah.
But no, well, we make it work. But no, that was something I noticed last night. But no, it's awesome to hear about it, that sort of feel it gave you. So sort of like wanting to be independent, go out with your friends and just party. and have a great time, yeah?
I always thought I'd end up in New York as a fashion designer. So the idea of being, you know, in one of those American cities with all the bright lights and the music just really appealed to me back then.
Well,
that teenage fantasy.
So you didn't dream of going and like to Delaware then or anything like that? Delaware. Oh.
I'm in Delaware.
Delaware. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I've sort of given you a rough idea of the when I saw it whenever it came out on video. Unfortunately, I I don't have the date for that. I do remember ending up with an ex-rental copy of it as well. So I was a big fan of this film. But let's get into a few of the details about it. So this film was actually directed by a lady called Penelope. I'm going to have to read this because I need to. Penelope Spheris.
Yes.
And I apologise if I have butchered that. I am terrible with pronunciation. We are 16 shows in now, and those who are regular attendees, if you have not figured out that I am terrible at reading and terrible at pronunciation, I will just tell you out right now, I am. She was known for the work on a documentary called put your teeth back in, Nick, or what you've got left of them, The Decline of Western Civilization, and very famous sort of rock and roll documentary. She also worked as a writer on the show Roseanne, between 1988 and 97. Do you remember Roseanne with John and Roseanne and Darlene and all that?
Yeah. I used to love that, yeah.
Another one of those things that gave you that Americana feel when you watched it on like Channel 4 on a Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that's the sort of feels I think I got from a film like this at the time. She also worked on films such as The Beverly Hillbillies in 1993 and Little Rascals in 94. And she did, I'm only going over the very brief, the big hitters of hers because there's lots to go through this evening. She also did edit together a video for the song Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen song, which was already very famous, but sort of had a resurgence in this film. She made a Wayne's World video for it, and she actually got nominated for a Grammy for that. So
nice.
Yeah, she's got a few things under her belt. Oh, and she also, I've got a note here. She also did a documentary called "We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll," and it was a documentary about Ozfest, and it was produced by Sharon Osbourne. I think we all know who Sharon Osbourne is at this point.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of her big hits. You know, a good career behind her. But as you can see, this is a film sort of about music, and you've got the Cassandra and the band and the independent show. So I think it was quite a cool thing that they brought someone in who worked on more indie projects and music projects to direct this movie. And I definitely think it has given this film the feel it's got. I don't know if you would agree with that, but I think it did.
Yeah, definitely. Although I know she and Mike Myers fought loads over the vision of this
they did
film.
Indeed.
So I don't know how much of influence she had or he had. But I mean, with all that background, you think that she'd know what she's doing. But yeah.
I think from what I understood, Mike Myers wasn't the easiest person on set to work with. And the relationship obviously broke down quite severely. It broke down completely because she was not invited back to direct the sequel.
No, he didn't want her.
He didn't want her, which, you know, I've seen Wayne's World more times than I can count. I've seen Wayne's World 2. I watched it for probably the third time last night. After I watched Wayne's World, because I was up and I was just in the mode for it. So yeah, but Penelope Spheris, the director, it was written by Mike Myers, Bonnie Turner and Terry Turner. So they all had their involvement. Mike Myers obviously I hate when I say obviously, it's not obvious if you don't know, sort of found a lot of fame in early sketch shows like Saturday Night, SNL, Saturday Night Live. Thank you very much. Yeah. Sorry, I had an absolute brain fart then. I do apologise. And, you know, it was It was filmed in the early period of 1991. One of the things about this film, which I think is also quite unique, is the comedy talent in it. They did allow Mike Myers and Dana Garvey get your tongue in, Nick, to Garth, to do a lot of improvised lines on this film. So did you ever find Bugs Bunny attractive when he dressed up as a girl in a dress? That scene when Wayne bursts out laughing on the car, that was a very real moment. That was completely unplanned. That was unscripted.
They spliced that in from another sort of ad lib that they'd done so that it was a proper laugh against it. It was quite,
It's I didn't realise they spliced the laugh in on it. I didn't know that. I knew it was a real thing. Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
We're both learning from each other there. But the movie was released in the States it was released February 14th, 1992, and in the UK we got it on May 22nd, 1992.
okay.
There you go. So we did get it a couple of months later. So this has been out, what's that, 33 years now? Is that 33 years?
Oh, I don't want to think about it. That's too depressing. Let's move on from that.
I'm older than you by a few years, so how do you think I feel? How do you think I feel? So just to get quick through the other production details, production company Paramount Pictures, distributed by Paramount. Amazingly, it had a budget of $20 million, grossed worldwide $183 million. This was a massive success.
Yeah.
This went far beyond the expectations of absolutely anybody. Absolutely anyone. I was getting his name wrong earlier. It was annoying me. Dana Carvey, who played Garth. Just to jump back in there. Sorry. So much info. Well, Steph, you've seen the notes. I fill my brain and I have my notes and I just things happen. There you go. So yeah, that's the basic rundown of the production side of it. So I'm going to throw another question at you, Steph. What do you think made this film such a massive success? Do you have any thoughts on it?
I think just so many young people just could relate, and kind of like what I did, it feeds into that fantasy of that rock life that a lot of teenagers want, I think. So, yeah, because I can't imagine adults really watching this and taking in the humour that it has.
Well, funnily enough, I remember it was my older sister, Julianne, and she was a grunge kid. She was a grunge kid, proper, loved Nirvana, cried when Kurt did what he did.
Yeah.
So I remember hearing Nirvana in the house. I'm old enough to remember Nirvana when Kurt Cobain was alive and listen to Nirvana. That's scary, isn't it? And this was a film that her and her friend rented, and my dad hated it. He absolutely hated it. Couldn't get his head around it. And my dad's a massive Queen fan, and he hated the scene with the head banging.
Really?
I don't know if yeah, I know. I don't, but my dad's always been a bit precious about the band Queen. It's one of his big passions in life. But yeah.
Right.
But I think, like you, I think that this film did speak to a particular generation. That generation sort of around my sister's age at the time, the teenagers, the young teens going into adulthood, that sort of alternate scene, the rock music. I think it will have appealed to us over here because, let's face it, for years and years and years, we've never been able to get enough of what America could do when it came to films and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think it just happened to travel very well and go very well with our audience, and I think that's part of the reason for the success. What I'm going to do, Steph, is I'm going to jump back in the comments because we've had more people arrive.
Oh,
I don't
right.
want to miss anyone out. No, it's absolutely awesome. And I say this every show. I do see every comment. If I don't get to them, please don't be offended. We appreciate every comment. It's awesome of you to be here. What's Keith Knight saying here? Will Nick leave halfway through the stream, throwing Steph under the bus? I'm having a good time. Not. Yes, I. Oh, yes. No, I won't leave halfway through the stream. I promise you, Steph. Or is it all a plan? But we have been joined by Stu himself, the Universal Toy Collector, who's multiple messages saying hello to absolutely everyone. So good to see you this evening, Stu. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, thanks for popping along. I'm just seeing, TJC. I don't think we said hello to you already. But if
No,
we
hey TJC.
have a second hello if we did, but thank you for joining us. I'm sorry. I did the thing that I've done on so many shows. I chugged a massive bottle of beer before the show. It's all very rock and roll here. It's a good to see you. And Jonathan Redmond, I think we've already... I'm terrible. I'm having a terrible evening. If we didn't... Hello, Jonathan Redmond. If this is your second hello... But thank you for joining us either way. And if it is your second hello, just feel honoured that you got a second one. It's always incredible to me when I go through the chat and there's so many names and there's so many people in the chat, you know, like 26 people in the chat at the moment, and blows me away every time. So thank you guys. I know people seem very, very up for it. Oh, and we've also been joined by Coxie's Toy Cantina. Good to see you, Coxie.
Hey, Coxie. If you're going
Good to have you here.
Spew into this.
Martin says, any reference of this movie will be completely lost on me, I'm afraid.
Yeah, see, he hates this movie. He didn't even know what this was when I walked past him earlier. He was just like, what are you doing?
He's like, I'm supporting my beautiful wife and good friend APD. Well, thank you for the support. See, no, that's dedication, isn't it? Even though you don't like the film, you've come along to support, and I appreciate that, mate. I really do. But yeah, just checking to see if anyone's put any comments up that need to get there. Let's have a look. Oh, Keith here. I think anyone that's ever been in a band can relate to the film with love. Same with Bill and Ted and Spun. So, yeah, I mean, I've been in a band and I see what you're saying there, Keith. I get it completely. Keith obviously been in bands, was in bands for many years, a fellow bass player. So,
very cool.
And G saying the SNL Wayne's World skit was hugely popular, thus getting the films. It was, and we're going to go into that very, very shortly, G. So that is a fantastic segue. So just hold that note. What's Coxie saying? What made it success was both Mike Myers and Dana Carvey, just hilarious human beings. Yes, that certainly did help. That certainly did help, Coxie. There's no
definitely.
denying that at all. And we've also been joined by the incredible Delvian Seek, who was on Tub Thumpers the other night, and someone said in the comments he sounds like Bob Harris. And I called my wife in, who's a big fan of Whispering Bob Harris, and said, "Ew, does he sound like Bob Harris to you?" And she's like, "Oh my God, yeah, he does." So, there you go, Delvian. My missus thinks you've got an excellent voice.
He does.
You are winning, sir. But anyway, into the next section, Steph, background and concept of the film. So I'm going to give you a little plot summary. I think everyone here has seen it except for Martin, or he has seen it, but he's deleted it from his brain because he hates it. But he is supporting it, so credit to him. Plot summary. Two slacker friends, Wayne and Garth, host a quirky public access TV show in the basement, which gets picked up by a major network, leading to hilarious chaos and corporate interference. Yeah, sort of. Yeah. That's the very basics of it. So I found out while I was researching this, I knew that the character of Wayne had appeared, and Garth as well at points and throughout the years on Saturday Night Live. But apparently the character of Wayne Campbell first actually appeared on a show called It's Only Rock and Roll on Canadian TV in 1987.
Yeah.
So it actually predates SNL, which I did not know.
He's been around a while.
Wayne
Longer than I've been alive.
Wayne is, as a character, Wayne is 3 years younger than me. And there you go.
Okay.
That's crazy, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and just to tie all ends up here, the first appearance on SNL was February 18th, 1989. The success of the skit did lead to the movie. This was the second SNL film that happened. Do you know the first one in 1980?
The Blues Brothers.
Points to Steph. There you go. Check you
Party
out.
on, Wayne.
There have been many films that have grown out of skits on SNL. Coneheads, Ladies' Man, A Night at the Roxbury. I loved Coneheads as a kid. I'm not going for all of them. But to date, this is the most successful one.
Yeah.
Hands down, has beaten all of them. Although I absolutely love the Blues Brothers. So
yeah. That must be close, mustn't it? I don't know.
So, I mean, I must admit, Steph, I did not look to see what the difference was. I just ran with, it's like when you're researching like multiple websites. Oh, that's a good fact. I love that one. I'll share that one with the world. But no, I was actually surprised that it wasn't Blues Brothers that was the most successful film.
Yeah, me too. Because it's everywhere, and Universal still have the Blues Brothers come out and sing in the parks. So
I know, seen it myself there at Universal.
Yeah, very surprised.
But yeah, so that's sort of a brief history. So going back to what G was saying earlier, that's why I said good segue there, G. So my next question for you is, did the plot and concept of the film stand out to you compared to other films of the era, or did it stand out to you compared to other films of the era? I say or. I don't know why I put an or on there.
No, not really.
No? Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, to be honest, the first sort of half is my favourite bit. It's just spending time with the characters, isn't it? Once the plot kicks in, it's like, no, it's fine. It is what it is. It's still fun, and it's, you still go on this journey with them. But I'm more just there for the characters rather than the plot, to be quite honest.
And that's fair. I mean, there is a very definite plot to this, but it's such a sort of whimsical plot. And although there are can you apply deep meaning to Wayne's World? I don't know. But it is interesting to see the big corporation trying to abuse the little guy and the little guy standing up. So I guess you can take that from it. And it's just good versus bad, really, isn't it? But in an underground TV show versus a corporate guy who's also trying to steal his missus or his girlfriend. So
it's like people only want to do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
That's just sad, man. I'm waiting for you to pull a can of Pepsi out now.
There you go. There you go.
Choice of a
In fact,
generation.
I am going to have some.
But anyway, I'm going to go into the main cast and characters before we jump back in and have another dance in the chat. Lead actors: Mike Myers, who played Wayne Campbell. He is known for the Austin Powers film series, the Shrek films. So I Married an Axe Murderer. I loved that film as a kid.
Oh yes, yeah.
The Cat in the Hat, which I watched not that long ago with my boy. Thought that was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Later films, The Love Guru in 2008. Saw that at cinema. I only went because of Heather Graham.
Yes. God, I completely forgot about that one. Yeah.
He had a role in Bohemian Rhapsody in 2018. Of course, he's done stuff on SNL. He's done loads, but there's a rundown. There's the big hits, the ones he's known for. And Dana Carvey, Garth Algar, Clean Slate in 94, Master of Disguise 2002. I've put these all in out-of-date sync, so deal with it that I've done it in the wrong order. I do apologise. I don't mean that rudely. Trapped in Paradise in 94. And he was on Saturday Night Live from 86 to 93. So he hasn't had quite the success of Mike Myers, but
I think he was just quite private, wasn't he? I think in the end he didn't really want to be on show too much. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know. Reading that he was quite a private, shy guy, I did wonder if he did put a lot of that into the character of Garth.
Well, apparently it's based on his brother Brad, because his brother's really timid and like has those weird sort of things that he does with his mouth and sort of the awkwardness with his body. So yeah, he based it on his brother. So maybe he's like that as well.
That's interesting. See, that's good. You're coming in with stuff that I haven't got. That's great. No, but if it is based on his brother, that's interesting. But it's also it's clever as well because he'll know his brother so well. So to translate that across into the character of Garth, I see. We all love the character of Wayne, but I love Garth. Garth is great.
Garth is so funny.
Awkward.
I love it so much when Wayne says, only me and Garth can talk to the camera. Come on. So the camera just zooms in on Garth and Garth goes, hi, what's that? And then runs away. And then when he puts the pen down and he goes, and then he knocks it off on purpose and he goes, oh, excuse me, I've dropped my pen.
Yeah. So good. He is a great. He is a fantastic character. Yeah, we'll go into other moments from Garth in the movie, and of course, as we say, Dana Carvey with some of his ad libs and stuff he put into the movie, making the character even more iconic.
Yeah.
Supporting cast, I'd say she's still one of the main cast. Tia Carrere as Cassandra Wong. Did you know that she turned down a role in Baywatch to take the part in this movie?
Yes, yeah, to audition for this instead. That was crazy. Well, I suppose
So,
you didn't know back then, I suppose.
No, I mean, I guess that Wayne's World. I guess that Baywatch would have been regular work, and for an actor, and
True, yeah.
I mean, I have seen that Tia Carrere has done shoots where she's looked very glamorous and stuff, and a lot of that is tied to a lot of the actresses from Baywatch, purely research reasons.
She's stunning.
Yeah, absolutely, and she still is now. To be fair,
Yeah,
she still is now. But I think that's brave of her to turn down that regular work for this. But I think it paid off because, of course, she got this, which is a massively famous film. Of course, she was in the sequel. She was also in True Lies in 1994, and she was one of the voices in Lilo and Stitch in 2002. She's done other work, but they're the big hitters.
Relic Hunter, the TV show.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she was the main character, so I used to watch that as well. And my
Never
dad,
watched that show.
shockingly,
Didn't know that.
yeah, I used to love it. I saw an advert for it actually the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I need to watch that again."
Oh man, no, I that one just sort of skipped past me completely. I'll have to check it out, of course.
Acting's a bit dodgy, but yeah.
So there's, you know, as long as it's watchable, who cares?
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, she's in it. It's watchable.
I don't know who's more of a fan here, me or you.
Oh my God, I love her. She's amazing. But yeah,
She
she's
is
also
amazing.
got amazing music career now, hasn't she?
She has, yeah, and she did record all of her own vocals for this film. I have found out. So she sung all the songs herself. So she's an incredible vocalist.
Oh,
She didn't
amazing.
She didn't play the bass in this movie. She was sort of taught how to hold the bass to look right. And to be fair, when she's playing Ballroom Blitz, I could have told you she wasn't playing the bass off the bat because I used to play
Yeah.
Ballroom Blitz. So
Yeah, you can tell from like how her fingers are moving. It's not matching the music at all.
no, and I've played that song so many times on bass. But still, you look past it because the vocal performance is so good.
Oh, it's
and
incredible.
to be fair, if you've ever played an instrument, like you have to learn to turn that part of your brain off when you watch films anyway, because it would just drive you nuts.
Yeah, it never matches.
But she was absolutely incredible, vocally stunning. Everything from the squeals, the screams. Excellent lady. Another person in this film. The character
Well,
of
hang
Benjamin
on before
Cain.
we move on.
Oh, no,
Can
yeah,
I just say
carry on.
that Tia, she's actually won
Yep.
2 Grammys for her Hawaiian music album. And that's what she does now, is she does Hawaiian music. So it's completely different vibe to the wailing that she does on Wayne's World.
I did know that. I've got that. So when we go into this app, but I'm glad you brought that up because it can come in at any point. But what I was going to say later on is I haven't actually tracked down or listened to any of it. Have you listened to any of the Hawaiian music?
Yeah, I
Is
have.
it good?
It's really good chill music, and of course her vocals are fantastic on it. But yeah, I think I prefer her as a rock chick. I think.
She's awesome. She's incredible. But
Yeah.
anyway, enough gushing about Tia.
Sorry,
Let's
yes.
move. No, it's fine. Let's move on to another character, Rob Lowe, the character of Benjamin Cain, known as the young number 2 in the Austin Powers movies. He was also in the West Wing TV series from 1999 to 2003 and Parks and Recreation 2010 to 2015. He's done other bits and pieces. I've just brought up the most notable. Truthfully, outside of this film, the only thing I've ever watched him in really is the Austin Powers films.
Oh, The West Wing is fantastic. It's mine and Martin's favourite TV show of all time. And yeah, he's good. He's
okay.
great in that as well.
Well, me and Mrs. APD are always looking for a good TV show that we can binge, so...
You've never seen The West Wing?
I've never seen The West Wing. That's all right. You can tell me off and give me grief about that all you want later on.
Okay.
I love
will
it.
do.
I love it when
That's
people
upsetting.
go, You've never seen that. There's only so many hours in a day. It's like when someone says a film and you go, I've not seen that. Have you not seen that? But I've seen thousands of other films. It's just,
But The West Wing is massive. It's really big with loads and loads of like accolades attached to it. You need to watch it.
I will. I promise you I will. Now, I'm not going to go into their other works, but just to read out a few other characters from the movie. Lara Flynn Boyle as Stacey, the mad ex-girlfriend. She's incredible in this.
That's fantastic.
She's so good.
What am I going to do with a gun rack? I don't even own a gun, let alone many guns that necessitate an entire rack. You don't like it? Fine. One of these days, Wayne, you're going to lose me.
That gets every time. And what I love about her character is when she crashes into the car, when she's on the bike. Apparently, Mike Myers wasn't sold on that scene being funny.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, and was considering taking that out. Like, I'm glad you didn't.
No. She does a little giggle as she sort of gets up.
Yeah. It's like when she goes through. It's like when she goes through the window at the rent party onto the sofa. She just gets...
Oh, I love that when she's
Sorry,
talking to Garth and she says, "Oh, Wayne seems to be going through a difficult phase right now, and you know what I think it is? Because you're mental."
What do you think I should do? Get over it. Go and get
Move on.
Get another boyfriend. Right, yeah. Get over it. Move on. See someone else.
Hi.
Whoever it is. She just grabs that massive guy. A couple more characters in the film. There is a cameo by the late great Meatloaf. He is a bouncer at the club.
Is that the one where he says, "The shitty Beatles, are they any good?"
They're pretty shitty. They live up to their name. We also had Kurt Fuller as Russell, the sort of guy who helped in the studio, who was teaching them all the counting. 4, 3.
I love it when they're in the club as well, and he goes, "Great party, hey guys!" And everyone's
They just all look around. Donna Dixon is the Dream Woman. When the Dreamweaver song comes on for Garth. The exceptional late great comedian Chris Farley as the security guard who gives the points of details. It'll be here and here.
Go through to Detroit. Wow, what an amazing amount of information that we just got from that guy.
Brian Doyle Murray is Noah Vanderhoff from Noah's Arcade.
Yeah, he's great.
Every time.
Yeah.
And Charles Noland as Ron Paxton. So there's loads in this, but just to give a brief overview of the cast of this movie. As I say, we if we were to go in and analyse every actor that was in this film, that's the rest of the time for the stream tied up.
Yeah. The only notable one I will say is Ed O'Neill, who is Glenn at Stan Mikita's Donuts, because he's in Modern Family and just loads of other stuff. But
No, that is a good shout. And actually, we can't miss Robert Patrick for his cameo as the T-1000.
Of course, yeah.
Have you seen this boy?
Well, that was pretty amazing that they got him to do that, because where is it in my notes? So Terminator came out on the 3rd of July 1991. And yeah, Wayne's World came out February 1992, less than a year. So 6-7 months later? So for the production, for them to get him in to do that, it must have still been in cinemas. Like, there's quite a lot of forethought into that, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely.
That turnaround.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very... To do that and to sort of read the room and know that will land with audiences, it's very clever of them. But there were some clever creatives in Hollywood.
True. Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to jump back into the chat in a moment because that's what we do here. But I've got a question for you. Is there? I've already said that Garth's my favourite character in this movie. Is there any particular character in this film that you love the most? Be it main ones, peripheral characters, anyone who you feel steals the show in their own little way?
Honestly, no, actually. I do feel like they're a family, like they are the group of friends. Like you get that vibe, that Wayne and Garth. I think there's quite a good balance between the Wayne and Garth relationship. And yeah, maybe Garth might just edge it for me with sort of his quirks, but I don't know, I'm trying to think of the quotes that we used to do. And I think it's kind of 50-50 between Wayne and Garth. Like, yeah, I don't think there's anyone that really stands out because they're all like such a great cast together. I feel like it all gels really well and it's all really well balanced.
Yeah, I mean, I totally take your point on that. It is well balanced. They do gel well together. I've got a soft spot in my heart for Garth.
Yeah.
That I don't know if I should say it. There's not in a bad way, in a good way. There's you've seen my boy like in real life, and you've spoke to him, yeah, and
Yeah.
There's elements of my boy that reminds me of Garth that reminds me of my boy.
Yeah.
Like they just are. So I don't know, I could almost see Jax being a bit like the mad inventor type when he's older. So
Yeah, when he goes to the boot of the car and grabs like the belt and the
what do you want, you little dweeb? I'd like to get by now.
I'd like to get by now.
So good, so good. Bear with me one moment while I just have a cough. I said a cough. I didn't say off. Let's get back into the chat, shall we? Let's get back into the chat before we move on, because I think we're going to go in. We can either do the music or quotes next. It's entirely. Should we go music next and then we'll get in the quotes? Because we'll be stuck in there for ages, won't we?
Yeah.
Let's see where we are, Martin. The MTV era, yeah, good way of summing it up. That the MTV era, yes, very much so. I remember that being, well, yeah, with the grunge sister and the MTV on constantly, the years of Beavis and Butthead and all that on TV. Yeah. The good old days. Stu with, I'm just a poor boy from a poor family. Well, interestingly, I will say this while we're in the comments, that the scene for Bohemian Rhapsody, very, very famous. We're going to go into music in a bit, but I'll just share it now. Wayne did that because him and his friends used to do that. But by the time they had to do multiple reshoots on that, multiple takes, should I say, he almost wanted to take it out of the film because his neck was hurting so bad and he was so pissed off with doing it. He was like, I don't think anyone's going to find it funny. I say Wayne, Mike Myers, but thankfully history sees that he didn't remove that scene. Yeah. So let's see what else we got here. Oh, Oh, controversy number 2 from Martin tonight. Nirvana are massively overrated. Martin's going in deep there tonight. He's going in deep.
He's going to cause a riot.
He is. Well, he can have a riot. He can have a riot. We don't mind a riot, do we? Let's have a look. I'm just jumping down because there's quite a lot of comments of people saying hello to each other, which is excellent, and I encourage that. But it's trying to find the bits where people have put bits to read out in. Not seen Spinal Tap either. It was a reference to it. Martin, wait until you see Stonehenge. Right, okay, so there's a reference in Spinal Tap, Stonehenge, the miniature. Yep. Sorry, I missed that bit there. Kieran Bull coming in with Dana Carvey was also in Blue Thunder in the Blue Thunder TV show. Oh, yes, he was. And it wasn't that long ago. I don't know if it was a Minty Comedic Arts video or something I saw or some video going into it. And yes, he absolutely was in that. So, yeah, good shout there, Kieran. What else have we got? Joe's saying Garth is my favourite character. Yeah, you got to have a soft spot for Garth.
Yeah.
G, I won't hold it against you, but Nirvana comment has you in hot water, mate. So there we go. And Coxie saying Dana Carvey's been on SNL recently. Still hilarious. Oh my god, his Biden impression. Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't seen the Biden impression, but I knew he'd come back to SNL.
I mean, I know over the years they've all sort of bounced in and out. I mean, I've got a best of Saturday Night Live DVD, but Mike Myers, it's just Mike Myers stuff on there.
Right.
And that's I got that years ago. It's an excellent DVD. Don't know if you can still buy it, but I bought it at the time because you see Wayne on the front, you know. I loved Wayne's World. Let's see what else we've got here. Female Indiana Jones, Nick, and she gets her kit off a lot. All right, is he the Relic Hunter?
Relic Hunter.
Right, okay. We've also been joined this evening by Tree Theodore.
Hey.
Wayne's World taught me the importance of learning Cantonese. Yeah. So well done. And what's Keith got here? I'm one of the few men who watched her scenes and watched her hands rather than the obvious. She wasn't playing the bass. Well, Keith, no, I guarantee Keith's not BSing there, because when you play an instrument and you see someone in it, you immediately sort of, are they playing it? And you can tell it is what it is. And what's G got here? To be fair, Tia Carrera in club dress, pseudo playing bass, perfectly fine by me. Yeah, absolutely, G. Martin saying West Wing greatest show of all time. That's a strong endorsement, Martin. So if you're saying that, I'm going to jump past that comment, but it's hilarious. What else have we got here? Oh, we've been joined by Dragon Buddy. Says hello there. Good to see you, Dragon Buddy. Thanks for popping along. He says hell action pop Wayne, hell Lady Garth. Action pop Wayne and Lady Garth. Right, let's just skim down a bit here. TJC Zhang. Yeah, but no, guys, brilliant comments in there. But the show must go on, and we will come back to you. We will always come back to you. Let's get into the music, shall we, Steph?
Yeah. I love this soundtrack.
It is a fantastic soundtrack. Says on my notes, it says composer John Peter Robinson, English composer, musician, and was known for a well-known arranger of film and television scores. Worked on the police story films Encino Man. Now, when I say Encino Man to you, Steph, do you know what that is?
I've heard of it, but no.
See, for us, it was California Man in the UK. Do you remember that film, Brendan Fraser, where they defrost the caveman?
Oh,
Pauly Shore's in it.
Yes, I do know that film. I didn't realise that was the name. Okay, yeah.
Well, over here for us, so for any Americans watching this evening, we knew it as California Man, but it's Encino Man to you guys. For some reason, we couldn't have possibly understood Encino Man in the UK, so they felt the need to change it. Also worked on Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Godzilla 2000. I put that one in there because Kat's in this evening, and she'd never forgive me if I didn't. And Detroit Rock City. Before we go into specific songs of the soundtrack, is this something? Did you have the CD or tape, or at the time this was out, vinyl at all? Is this something you listened to a lot, Steph?
Oh yeah, I had the CD. So yeah, of Wayne's World 1 and 2, I think. So yeah, I listened to this a lot in the car as well. It's a good driving soundtrack.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a banging soundtrack. I don't recall if I ever had the actual soundtrack. I know over the years, we're in the age of streaming now. I mean, all the songs on the soundtrack sort of regularly pop into my Spotify. Will pluck them out anyway. So as I do with anything, whether it's in the same order as the CD, tape or vinyl or not, I don't know. But I have been listening this week, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that song, no, that song. And now my Spotify DJ is just constantly playing those songs because that's what it does for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I always wondered if Tia Carrera had an album of those songs that she sings in the film, But unfortunately, she doesn't, because I really like some of her songs that she does. There's only Ballroom Blitz and Why Do You Want to Break My Heart, I think, are on
Why
there.
Do You Want to Break My Heart? She did do one more, didn't she?
Yeah, she did a Hendrix one, which I can't remember the name of, and she did another one.
Ding, ding, da-da-da, ding, ding, da-da. You don't care for me, I don't care about that. You gotta... Let me stand next to your fire. Sorry.
That's it.
We also used to cover that one as well. So now I am like.
I like her cover of that.
It's a very good cover. It's such a fun song to play as well. So if anyone in the chat also plays an instrument or is thinking of picking up learning an instrument, it's a fantastic riff to play on bass and guitar. I suck at guitar, but in fact, terrible, the worst at guitar. But on bass, man, it's very, very fun to play. So yeah, no, it would be nice if you could get those particular songs. But like you, I couldn't find any actual versions of them.
No.
Now, the most famous song of this film, we've already touched on it, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. You are a good researcher, Steph, so I'm sure you probably know this, but it did actually re-chart after its appearance in this movie.
Reached number 2 on Billboard's Hot 100 singles.
Yes, it did indeed.
And then they redid the video for it as well.
Yeah,
with
which
clips
is the
from
one.
The film.
That's right, which is the one the director of the movie did and got a Grammy nomination for. So, excellent, we all research. And it was actually 17 years after the initial...
Gosh, was it 17?
It going in the charts. So 17 years later, Wayne's World got it back into the charts at position number 2. So yeah, but I mean, Wayne's World, Bohemian Rhapsody, I can recall all those years ago was being played a lot. Anyway, but that was, I don't remember when Freddie Mercury passed away. Was it around 90, 91, 92?
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't get to see it, sort of its resurgence, but...
At that point in the UK, there were so many re-releases of Queen songs and what have you. So I don't know if remembering hearing it is because of his sad passing or because of this film. But it's good. Yeah. It's good it got back in the charts, though, in the States. Certainly is. Other songs, Hot and Bothered, Cinderella, Rock Candy, Bullet Boys, Dreamweaver. Love that song.
Yeah, they re-recorded it specifically for the film as well, which is awesome. So that they had a nice clean shot of that bit for the film. Yeah,
which is brilliant. So that was done by Gary Wright. Put your teeth back in. I can't pronounce this, but Sika Kaunika Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
There's no hope. There is absolutely no hope I'm going to get that. Of course, Foxy Lady by Jimi Hendrix. The Garth scene. I'm just jumping to the main big hitters here. The Wayne's World theme that the guys did. Ballroom Blitz, it says, by Tia Carrera. But I couldn't find a version of it. But that was originally recorded by The Sweet. So,
yes.
as I say, I've covered that many times. Great song to play. And yes, we did do the cheesy, "Are you ready?" the bit to each band member. Yes, we did that. Are you ready, Nick? Right, let's go. Also, the other ultra super duper famous song in this film, I'm going to jump to this one, Feed My Frankenstein by Alice Cooper.
Yes, and how cool is that scene when they're at the concert? He looks amazing.
What's brilliant about it, Steph, is I've seen Alice Cooper in concert 3 times now. Yeah. 3 times. And I've seen him once supported by Twisted Sister, once supported by Motorhead, and I can't remember the 3rd time. But that scene on stage, so you've not seen Alice Cooper live, no? No. Please go and see him live, Steph, if you do, because that scene, he has changed his lineup of musicians, but it's the same. It hasn't changed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's just like that. It is just like that. The kicking through the skeleton. Yeah. I mean, Alice dies in every show. Sometimes it's by decapitation. But he comes back to life. I mean, it's such a production, and seeing them show this in Wayne's World, I just loved it. Because, of course, when I finally got to see Alice Cooper all these years later...
Yeah, there it is.
there it is, right in front of your eyes.
Oh, amazing, amazing.
So yeah, there's that. Is there any particular song yourself, before I'm just reading through the list, that you want to go into, or that's a favourite?
No, I mean, just the Alice Cooper Feed My Frankenstein is the one that really, really gripped me. Yeah, and obviously the Wayne's World theme is also just so much fun as well. And obviously I bought it for the Tia songs as well. So no, honestly, the whole soundtrack to me is pretty perfect, I think. It's a bit boring to say.
Sorry, I just saw a call. I'll get back to Comes a bit, but just Kieran made me laugh there. Nick, you don't suck a guitar. Maybe that's where you're going wrong. No, man, I can play power chords, and I could pick a guitar up. So when I was in my band, I could do enough on a guitar that I could go, this is the riff I want, and I could show it to the guitarist, and the guitarist would go, right, now give me the guitar and I'll play that decently. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
That's about the level of guitar, enough to show what was in my head. That's it. I mean, it's really terrible. I'm a bass player through and through, me. So yeah, plenty of other songs on this. Ride By Yourself by Rhino Bucket, Loving Your Loving by Eric Clapton, excellent song.
Yeah.
It has got listed here, Why You Want to Break My Heart by Tia Correct. Again, I couldn't find a version of it that I could listen to. And Loud Love by Soundgarden. I love Soundgarden. But apparently it wasn't included on all versions, but it is on the Spotify track listing that I listened to.
Yeah, it wasn't on my soundtrack, so don't know.
I mean, I was looking through my notes last night while I was watching it, and at sort of midnight while you're doing this and you're a couple of beers in, I'm sure there were other songs that played in the film.
Yeah,
I'm sure I heard an Ugly
be.
Kid Joe song in there somewhere.
Right.
But not all songs in films always make it to the soundtrack anyway.
No, unfortunately, which really annoys me. If it's on the film, just put it in the soundtrack.
Yeah. But yeah, fantastic. So you spent a lot of time listening to this. These are all songs I can relate to. Martin's point earlier about the MTV era, very much so.
Yeah.
These are all songs you would have seen regularly on MTV. I do say to anyone, obviously you can't see Queen. Well, you can see Queen now if you want to see him with Adam Lambert, and he does a very good job. But anyone who hasn't seen Alice Cooper, next time he's in town, if you enjoyed the song Feed My Frankenstein, go and see Alice Cooper live. It is a spectacle to behold. It's such a good stage show. It's very, very well worth your watch. Excuse me.
But of course, remember the only song that isn't on there is No Stairway, Denied. Because they couldn't get the rights to it. So they just did a generic sort of riff in the shop, and then they did that as a joke, which I think works really well.
See, I didn't know that. I just thought Wayne started playing it really badly, because I've heard lots of very bad starts to Stairway to Heaven by lots of guitarists over the years.
Yeah, no, they couldn't get the rights to it, so they just had to do a generic riff. And then that's why they sort of do the joke of the sign saying No Stairway Denied, because they were denied the song, so yeah.
Okay. But it's funny how, so this is the impact of the film. The amount of real guitar shops, music shops now that have put that policy in place. I'm not even sure some of them know where that comes from. But as I say, I have, if you've ever frequented music shops, you go in, so not Stairway to Heaven, a song that I've heard a million, in my younger days of going into musical instrument shops and things, if I never heard someone badly playing Seven Nation Army by White Stripes again.
Yes, I know.
It's not that hard. You don't even have to move down the neck. It's all there. You don't even have to run down the neck. Come on. But,
and in that same shop, when Garth is playing the drums as well, he's actually playing those drums, which is incredible. Yes. But I love it how he does this massive, drum solo, and then the guy behind's like, "You're incredible, dude," and he goes, "Thanks. I like to play."
It's so good.
It's like this massive thing and it just goes dink.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because last night I did Google if he played the drums, because while I was watching, I was like, I haven't even touched on this, and
Yeah.
I was quite blown away, because that's real high level drum playing. So
Yeah, he's really incredible at it. So yeah.
well, apparently Mike Myers is no slouch on a guitar either. So
Oh really? Oh, okay.
which is, and then you got Tia Carrera, who's an absolute phenom on vocals. I mean, makes you wonder if anything was ever pitched at the time. I doubt it was.
Yeah.
But, it could have been interesting, but no, Dana, very good drummers. Yeah, like I've met so many good drummers over the years, but I love a drum. Not everyone loves a drum solo, but I do. I like a drum solo if it's played well.
Yeah.
I mean, my favourite person I ever used to hear do a drum solo was Mickey D from Motorhead. What a drum solo. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Motorhead, but... Oh,
Yeah.
Steph.
Sorry, I'm here. My battery's about to run out, so I'm just...
Oh, okay, that's fine. Not a problem. Well, while you're doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look to see if there's anything in the chat to bring up. Steph is having a small technical difficulty. Let's have a look here. So, Coxie says, Garth, it's Heather Locklear. Heather be thy name. Swing.
You're warm. You're very, very warm. Very warm.
So good. I've got the... You know, I always wear pajama bottoms in these shows, but even tonight, I went full out. I got blue jeans on. I got blue jeans on. But if I stand
can't
up
fit into my ripped jeans anymore.
if I get up and do a swing motion, I'm just going to knock my desk. Like, it's so small in it.
There you go.
There you go. A half-hour swing for you all there.
Swing salute. There we go.
Swing.
Swing. Swing.
So good. We're just children.
Yeah, I love it.
Right. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Palp Sam, what? West Wing doesn't hold a candle to the X-Files. Well, I love the X-Files.
Palps. We'll have to have a chat, Palps. We'll have to have a chat.
What's Zoe here? Wig checking. Either of you want to not wear it anymore? We're not wearing wigs. Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I want to take this thing off. It's itchy.
It's the glasses. It's pushing against my head with the headphones.
It's sucking my soul to live.
It's sucking my soul to live. Oh, the humanity.
Yes. Yeah. It's so I used to have hair about that far off the top of my backside, right? It was very long hair. There's many pictures of me on my personal Instagram. And I said to Mrs. APD tonight when I had this on for a few minutes, I was like, I do not miss having long hair. I do not miss it at all. I will never have long hair again. I am glad I cut the long hair off. Long hair is a pain. I don't know how you ladies do it. It just makes your ears all warm.
Yeah, it does. It can do.
I honestly don't know how I put up with it for so many years.
Good for headbanging.
Bloody terrible. It was good for headbanging back in the day. So what I used to do when I was in the band, when I was in the rock bands, because I was actually shy on stage, you put a pair of big aviator glasses on, and I'd flip my hair right in front of my face, and I'd do that metal thing of like bobbing your head up and down, and that's just... I don't want to look at anyone because I'm actually very socially awkward in person.
Just appear really rock, but I'm actually really shy.
What's it say? If only the intro wasn't so bloody long. I'm not sure what that's referring to, but I'm sure I'll work it out. Oh, they're talking about TNG and stuff, which is cool. It's great people having conversations. I could be wrong. I'm sure Joe will fill me in on that. Sam, when I saw Mr. Big on the license plate, I thought for sure it was the hairband. Yeah, Mr. Big. But yeah, excellent. Kieran, fun Wayne's World fact. The first 4 chords of Stairway to Heaven were replaced on all home media versions because they didn't want to pay the licensing fee, only restored in 2022. Well, hell, That is a good fact, Kieran. I do like that very much. I didn't know that. What's this? TJC. I will never have long hair again either, Nick. Poor TJC.
Oh, T.
What's the saying? You're not bold. It's just a solar panel for a sex machine. You're fine. And what's G got here? Just a pain in the ass. Have to use all kinds of products all the time and get a style just right. Yeah, long hair, man.
Yeah.
But the only thing about long hair is, I know it's just strewn back Wayne's World, but the one practicality of it is with long hair, I find myself in the barbers every 3 to 4 weeks now getting my hair cut, whereas I didn't used to have to do that.
Yeah.
That's the big thing I miss. But right. Let's talk about some of our favourite scenes in the movie, Steph. I've got some listed here. We're going to go, and that's basically where we're going to finish up on this. Right, so here we go. Your favourites, any favourite scene, throw at me, or any favourite quote. I've got a long list here. It's time to just nerd out on Wayne's World.
Yes.
So go for your life.
Favourite bit. Okay. So we've already done the extreme close-up. So we all love that. Heather Locklear we've done. And when Wayne says, the Mirthmobile, and he rocks up in that crappy car. Because I think as all teenagers, we thought our cars were like it. The babe magnet. And yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you've ever seen a
Your
Vauxhall
face.
Nova. Yeah.
Yeah, but with this nice paint job like the Mirthmobile, maybe.
The flames, just the flames on the car.
And then when he's at the guitar shop and he says, "It will be mine." Oh yes, it will be mine. I use that a lot for stuff when like I see something I want, but I can't get it straight away. I'll say that.
I've got to be honest, dude. I've said that to many things in the past before.
And I love it when Garth says, "Stop torturing yourself, man. You'll never afford it. Live in the now." That's another thing I say to myself when I can't afford something. I'm like, live in the now.
Dude, I know Wayne's pain in that because there was a Rickenbacker 4003, 4001, whatever one it was, years ago. Brain's going dull now. But it was an old retro one in this guitar shop I used to go to. And I played it and I just wanted it. I wanted that. I was never going to afford it. At the time, it was like $3,500 then. Oof. You know, it was like, I was never going to afford that. So I feel, there's like the living in that.
Live in the
now. Pain.
And then anything Glenn says at Stan Makita's Donuts, because it's just so out of left field when he's like, what's it when he says, the first thing he says, "I've never done a crazy thing in my life until that night. Why is it? If a man kills another man in battle, it's heroic. Yet if he kills another man in the heat of passion, it's called murder." And you're like, where did that come
The Native
from?
Americans used to believe that the steam rising out of the wound was the soul escaping the body.
When the handyman's in there and he's been laid off, and he's like, "You know what I want to do?" "Yeah, I know what you want to do. You want to stab him deep in the heart." I'm like, I was just going to go to the unions. Yeah, my brother did that with his cars too, T.
Oh, yeah, man. Just cars, man. Cars. So we sort of covered it earlier, but... Well, we spoke about a couple of scenes, but the Stacia gun rack scene, man, that is just... I know I won't go too much into it because we've already discussed it and we've already gone over the quote.
I love how she trips over her heel as she's walking.
She's so awkward, man.
Just the Wayne necklace.
Yeah. If you're not careful, Wayne, you're going to lose me. I already did.
We broke up. And I was like, what does she says? He says... well, we broke up. Are you mental? And she said, "Well, that doesn't mean we still can't go out." It's like, that's the definition of break up.
That's like in the shop, and I'm gonna go for a quote now I love, and I've written it down, so I'll get it wrong if I don't. "I say her, if you blow chunks and she comes back, she's yours. But if you spew and she bolts, it was never meant to be." He's talking about the dream woman to come.
And Tia's face in that scene, she's just like, what? Oh yeah, we haven't said that Wayne actually knows Cantonese as well, and he wanted to put it in the film, so that's why he...
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
he actually speaks Cantonese, and he wanted to put it in. That's why they had Cassandra as that nationality, so that they could speak it.
Ah, right, okay. So I always thought it was a bit of a joke when Cassandra said, even your accent, your pronunciation's good. And I was like, well, I don't really. So my friend's now ex-wife, she spoke Cantonese, but she didn't sound anything like Wayne did speaking it. So I always thought that Wayne was like obviously saying it, but not doing great. But maybe he was doing it well. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, he can actually speak it. That's why I quite like it in Wayne's World too, when they do the dubbing with her dad. It's so funny.
Oh, gotcha. And the bit where they're doing the dub on the roof and they stop talking, when he's talking about how he feels, and they're just sort of there nodding, and you're like...
Oh, that's so good. And then when Terry says, I love you, man, Garth goes, thank you.
just
starts dancing. And Terry's like, I don't know what to do with this.
I mean... I love the bit, the quote, if Benjamin were an ice cream flavour, he'd be pralines and dick.
Dick. He'd be pralines and dick. Or when he's going through Benjamin's stuff and he brings out the condoms and he goes, ribbed for her pleasure. Ew. And TJC's just brought up the best one that we used to quote whenever someone said, do you want to order Chinese takeout? You know that quote?
How many times did you try and order cream of some young guy, Nick? Now, this film is responsible for that. And I've heard this many times over the years from people. Just like this film, everyone in this chat who I have met in person, I know is not beyond a that's what she said joke.
Yep.
And this film really, this film is actually, they actually say this film is partly responsible for the that's what she said trope.
Oh, I can see that.
So there you go. And we all love a good, when someone gets you with a good that's what she said joke,
Oh,
you appreciate it.
it's perfection.
We have
yeah.
we've got a new arrival. I'm gonna bring him in. I'm late. Start over, please. Schwing.
Swing.
There you go. That sums up the show, Connor. That's what you've missed, mate.
Much.
But thanks for joining us this evening. I've got to stop doing that. I actually thought my chair was going to break then. I'm 17 and a half stone, dude. I should not be putting that sort of weight through plastic arms on a chair. That's
dear.
not good. So are there any other awesome scenes that you
Yes.
want to discuss in the film? Whether they're more serious, there's not many serious notes, or whether they're jokey. Go for your life. It's your episode.
Game on.
Game on.
Car. Because we used to do that as kids. We used to ride our bikes. We lived in a cul-de-sac, so we used to ride our bikes round and round and, playing the street and stuff. So whenever a car came in, we'd go, car! And then we didn't say, obviously, game on. We'd say, okay, to let everyone know that we could go back to it. So when I saw that in the film, I was like, oh my gosh, we did that as kids. That's amazing.
Yeah, I think there's lots of things from this film that have creeped into the sort of conscious, like this film has pumped a lot of stuff out there. I mean, but this...
But it's all things we used to do.
Yeah, especially people around our age. I mean, I'm 5 years older than you, am I? 4 or 5 years older than you?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to say my age. It'll give your age away. Shouldn't do that. I'm 40.
I'm 36.
There you go. Well, enjoy being young. Enjoy being young.
And then, of course, there's the advertising scene, which, is just absolutely... I quote it quite a lot.
Yellow.
Here, try these. No, what is it? I can't think about this now. I've got a headache. Here, why don't you try these? Nubrin, little, tiny, different.
That's it, yeah. This is why I write my quotes down. I'm terrible with quotes. Like, people like me are the reason for the Mandela effect, mate, because we just get stuff wrong. I can remember song lyrics, man, but quotes I'm terrible for. I'm just trying to think if there's any other scenes that I absolutely love in the film. I did write quite a few down. Oh, yeah. When we briefly touched on it earlier, but when they're taking the piss out of Noah from Noah's Arcade, when they don't want to do the sponsorship bit, and that is, to me, that is one that this film was a bad influence on a lot of kids, because this is the sort of crap we would pull as kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of
says
that
what?
scene. What? Exactly.
Exactly.
It's just, it's such a childish film,
Yeah.
but it landed so well. And I have to say, Steph, and I don't know how you feel about this, but watching it, I've seen it many times over the years, but I've said in previous episodes, when you actually watch a film to prepare for an episode, you sort of come out with a different pair of eyes.
Yeah.
This film has not aged badly at all.
No, I still feel the same about when I watched it back then. And like you say, with different eyes, there were no different eyes with this. It's just exactly the same. It's, all the quotes still are relevant to me now. Like another one that Glenn says is, well, the world's a twisted place. And that's what I sometimes say when, things aren't going my way, or like I can't believe something. It's like, well, the world's a twisted place. And the other one is when Garth says, I'm having a good time. Not. And that's another thing that I use quite a lot when obviously I'm not having a good time. Another thing is the Alice Cooper concert, where they've got the lanyards and they've got the backstage passes and they're like showing them. So me and Martin do that at concerts as well, or like shows when we've got the tickets and we're like...
Having had the privilege of doing that at a show, you do sort of walk around.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that Star Wars Celebration. We were like this with our passes.
Yep. Little story for you there. I don't, not to trash on them too much, but when we had backstage passes, played a festival, but only a very small band. We were nothing special. We were sort of early on in the day. But we got backstage passes as artists. So as artists, we were allowed in the artist area. And it was very cool because the Darkness were headlining that day. And Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons, Phil Campbell from Motorhead, and they, Lemmy's no longer with us, which, anyone who, I'm a big Motorhead fan. So for me, this was absolutely massive. Now, the guys from Bastard Sons were brilliant. They gave me stuff. They were like, I was sort of stood outside the tent, sort of tentative, and it was just like the Alice Cooper. I'm like, come in, and they're just like, great. And you can, But the Darkness tried to have us all kicked from backstage because because they didn't want us using the same toilets as them. So there you go. But of course, we're literal nobodies, and you've got. This isn't the actual part. This is the festival guide, but we had a pass thing, and I think it was a wristband. To tell the truth, this was the thing. But you're sort of showing your wristband around, like yeah. So So I've been there, and there. It does make me laugh watching that, because I can totally relate to that moment of, I've got a pass, I'm allowed. It's so cool.
Yeah, and, so I think the only other thing I was going to say was camera 1, camera 2 with the eyes. And then just the last thing was, I love the quote from Rob Lowe when they're in his apartment. And Cassandra says, God, I feel so free up here, because it's a really tall skyscraper. And he goes, costs a lot to live this free. It's just such a
But the better line is, you could really huck a loogie on someone from up here.
Cassandra, from this height, you could really huck a loogie on someone.
And that's the parallel, isn't it? So you've got super smooth guy, then you've got Wayne just being a bit of a teenager. I know he's not a teenager, but it's that sort of that immature
attitude, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's exactly what you've met me in person. You, Martin, have met me in person. You've been with me. You've seen I am just as inappropriate in person it doesn't change. So I can still absolutely relate to that
Yeah.
way of being, you know. So
Oh, and sorry, I just remembered another one when Garth's doing the foxy lady like thing with his dream lady, and then he starts moving his hips to the bass, and he doesn't like his face is like like something's happening, like it's really like he doesn't get it. It's so funny.
So that scene, right?
Yeah.
I have tried many times over the years to emulate that scene, because when Foxy Lady comes on, I always think of this scene from Wayne's World.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Huge fan. I love playing their songs, or at least I used to love to. I cannot do that. That is hard. I mean, so if anyone in the comment section can do that, let us know. And send a video in, and I'll play it on the next Real Impact of you doing your own Foxy Lady.
Foxy.
And it's the smile and everything with it. And you're just like, oh, it's so cool. It's like the nerdiest guy. And you just see Tia Carrera there and like Mike Myers, and they're just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I just love it. I love it.
I must have slipped. Bang.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I fell.
So yeah, no, absolutely brilliant. The only the one scene that was just horrific to watch last night, having like a quite posh, nice TV, is Wayne on the bed in his tighty whities. Oh
yeah.
God, that
oh no.
The 4K experience or whatever it was in, whatever resolution that was in, I didn't need that.
No,
I didn't need that.
and the big screen. No.
No. But it's like the gratuitous sex scene flashing up on the screen.
That. And then Oscar clip at the end.
Yeah. I bet there's no film in this camera.
The band's not even here. Oh, hey guys.
But I do think we need to touch on one more thing before we wrap up, because something I've come across on this is that they had to change the end of the movie because audiences didn't like it. Now, I don't know what they changed it to, or if they changed it to this for this reason, but they had the multiple endings, which I love on this film.
Yeah, I love that too.
So you've got the tragic ending. It's when he's carrying Garth out for Stacey comes along. Wayne, I'm pregnant. That's why I've been acting so mental. and the basement goes up, and you ruined my career. And just Mr. Big rejects Cassandra's band. Crucial Taunt, I believe they were called in the movie.
Yeah.
And then they go, no, you didn't think we were going to end it like that. The bit where they're on the beach. Let's do the Scooby-Doo ending. And
it's Old Man Withers from the amusement factory.
And I'd have got away with it too if it wasn't for you pesky kids.
Excellent Scooby-Doo ending. Hey, let's do the super happy ending. Oh, that's doable.
So good. So I don't know in your research if you came across what the actual original ending was.
No,
I didn't.
No.
So
I'll have a look at that.
I couldn't find anything to say this is why they absolutely did do the 3 different endings, but I'd suspect that maybe they just thought, sod it, let's just do multiple endings. And
yeah, I think so.
It's it's a very cool end, and it sort of ends quite abruptly as well. It's like then the credits roll, and I love that because it's not a long movie, is it? Was it an hour and 35 minutes?
It's only an hour and a half, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you feel the same when you watch it, Steph, but when you watched it back today, you watched it, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I watched it last night and the sequel. I felt they just flew by. The sequel, the sequel's not a bad film. I normally, on Real Impact, I normally go into, would you like a sequel? There has been a sequel. You're welcome to share any thoughts you've got, whether it's whether you enjoy it as much, if you like. I'm going to say I didn't as much. I don't think it's a bad
Yeah.
film, but I didn't love it like this one.
Yeah, I didn't love it either. I mean, I still like it. I still watched it, just not as much as this one. I mean, it's still really quotable. You know, was it cross the T's and dot the lowercase J's? You know, things like that. Yeah, I still think it's fun and a good watch, but yeah, it's nowhere near the heights of the first Wayne's World.
I kind of felt with the second one when I started watching it back last night, and I know this stream is about Wayne's World, but we do discuss bits from sequels. They have the immediate bit, they have the Aerosmith concert, and the past thing again, and the We're Not Worthy, and it felt a bit forced.
Yeah, I would agree with that, yeah.
That they put it in there just because that was such an iconic scene in the first movie, like they almost had to pay service to the fans, and
Yeah.
that's always the danger with sequels. I don't know if you came across this online as well. There have been rumours over the years that they would maybe do a third part. If they were to, this is all hypothetical, but if they were to say, if you were to read tomorrow that they've announced Wayne's World Part 3 set today, before I give what my views on it would be, how would you feel about that?
Nervous, very, very nervous. Part of me would be like, yes, I can't wait to see these characters again. But another part of me thinks, could you recapture that magic? It's, you know, it's a different era, different time. Where could they possibly go with this? Yeah, I don't really think it would work, personally. I'd love to see it if it did, but I don't think it would work.
Yeah, I don't think it would work personally. It's such a different time, and the way people get uptight about different things now.
Yeah.
They'd either have to go balls out and just and do their humour and take whatever inevitable flack it was going to get, whether the studio would allow them to do it, or they'd change it to be more in line with today. And then if you do that, it's not, for me, it's not Wayne's World. So
Yeah.
I think maybe 10, 15 years ago, you may have been able to have squeaked a sequel.
I don't think now.
I think that ship has sailed. The occasional SNL skit, I know they occasionally come back as Wayne and Garth. It can live on in that way, but I don't think I'd want to see a full movie for it. I mean, the other big franchise of Mike Myers, Austin Powers. I mean, I love those. I genuinely love those films.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to see another one because I think it's gone too long now.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's gone far too long now.
I don't think it could work.
Yeah, and I don't think it would land as well with people, and
No.
so I think for this there's no point. And with regard, never say never with Hollywood, but I don't think anyone should ever attempt to remake this. You couldn't do it. You wouldn't capture it. You wouldn't get it right. So
No, I don't think so. It'd end up being a parody of it. So
yeah. Well, we've come to the end of all sections, Steph. So
Woo-hoo.
There's one thing to do. That is to go into the chat and see if there's any other comments to bring up. And let's have a look. GeForce, Connor's pretending not to see my comments as he's playing out the crying game in his shower. There's tension between those two.
yeah.
Hot tension sometimes, I think. What else have we got? Ricardo. Nick, a great stream as always. Lady Stephanie was fantastic co-host. Keep up the great work. Everyone have a great night. Time for a beer and time for a whiskey. Excellent, man. Thank you for joining us, Ricardo.
Yeah, thanks, Ricardo.
What's Joe saying? Wayne's World is too much of a product of its time. It wouldn't work today. Agree. Maybe
Yeah.
the early noughties. Maybe you could have the interest and transition, but not now for me.
No.
Kieran Bull, Shrek 5 isn't looking too good either. Oh, good to see it's another
No.
franchise that's just... Some things have got to stay where they are.
yeah.
And what's G saying? Same. I don't think in Living Colour wouldn't work these days. Those were different. They were... I don't think in... Yeah, no, sorry. I'm just reading back on myself. I'm not the best reader, especially on a small screen when it's flicking up. Thanks there, G, for saying... great job, Nick and Steph. That's massively appreciated.
thanks,
And
G.
thank you to Martin for that. TJC saying great stream. Like, I just want to say, I say it every show, but this show works because you guys show up. Thank you to everyone in the chat who's joined us this evening. Thank you for your comments. I said earlier, we do see them all. Sorry we can't get to them all. Steph, you've been absolutely bloody amazing this evening. To think you were worried and nervous about doing this, and you've been absolutely fine.
I know. Just get on with it, Steph.
Absolutely. Now, plug your new channel, Steph. Plug yourself, because it's all linked in the video description or the stream description, so you can all go follow if you don't already. But please plug yourself.
I don't actually know what my channel is. It's Stephanie Long and then some numbers after it. So if it's in the description, that's the place to go. I need to have it up somewhere so I can see it. But I just put shorts on there of sort of what things I'm collecting, all the stuff that's behind me and what I'm making. I make miniatures at the moment and all the Lego. So yeah, it's all on there, and some figures that I'm getting as well. So yeah, that's me over there, and I'm on Instagram as well.
Sorry, there. Just you've said it's returned in SNL skits. What's news? Yeah. Because I've missed some comments. Yeah, no, Wayne's World has sort of jumped in and out, but I could be getting wrong because I could have missed a comment here. But I don't mind seeing. Just to go back to that, I don't mind seeing the occasional SNL skit, but not.
Yeah.
I think I said this, but not a full movie. But again, thank you for the comment, Zoe. I've probably completely misinterpreted that, so I do apologise if I have. Forgive me. So many comments. You're a chatty old bunch.
Thank you so much, Connor. He's put the link to my channel on. It's Stephanie Long 5342. There you go. Thank you so much.
There you go.
Thanks, T.
That it is in the description. Please do follow. I believe you can follow the link from the chat as well. Chat, you've been amazing. Steph, you've been awesome. Thank you for joining us. As I say, back to that last comment, Zoe, sorry if I misinterpreted what that meant. I'm tired and I've had a beer, but I do appreciate you coming along, and I appreciate you. I appreciate all the comments. And yeah, I will say, if any of you are still about, if you can hit like on this. And if you're not subscribed, if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe if you want to subscribe. But definitely do give it a like if you can, and share it about to anyone who you think might like it. I will be back very shortly with Martin, and me and Martin have got another epic film to discuss. A bit more in the action. I'm not gonna give away what it is yet. But believe you me, it's a film that a lot of people in here will like and do like. So me and Mr. Long will be back soon. Whether I squeak another episode in the interim, in between that, I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. What? Oh, just bring it. So no, I pressed enter too early. My question is about. Oh, I'm sorry, Zoe. Sorry, mate. Bloody live, and I get these things wrong. Yeah, so watch out for the next stream. Hit like on this if you can. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Steph. We've done so many thank yous. I never quite know how to wrap a stream up, so I think what we need to do, I need to do the thing I never do, which is cue up the end video. So let's do an awkward wave and say bye to everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. And I'm going to hit the outro video. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.